For the first time this NBA season, the Toronto Raptors are held under 100 points, and they don't even eclipse 90. This was comfortably, for a team that's lost 10 games, there hasn't been many bad games, but this was comfortably the worst game of the season so far, and I'll explain why in tonight's post-game show. Like I said, that was certainly one of the games in the history of the Toronto Raptors. It just existed there. That was a tough watch. We've had a lot of fun games this season where they lose, but they're competitive. This was not really one of those games. Kind of a fun start to the second half. The Raptors started the second half down by 11. 2 minutes and 17 seconds later, it was tied. And then like 4 minutes after that, they're down 11 again. And the Bucks did not look back in this one. The Bucks were without Damian Lillard for this one. And Middleton, of course. Raptors still down Scotty Barnes, still down Bruce Brown, still down Kelly Olynyk. And unfortunately, Emmanuel quickly now has a UCL strain, which is a strain in his elbow, or an elbow injury. It's going to keep him out for a bit of time, so he was not available for this one. But yeah, not a great lineup, not a great crop of players available for the Raptors, but still, even despite that this season, they still have looked good on offense. They still schemed together good plays. This was not one of those games. Pretty horrific stuff by the Raptors in many different areas, and we're about to get started here with the way the game went down. Before we go into any further, as a reminder, I do content like this for virtually every Raptors game, so if you do enjoy, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like it. We'll be back on Friday for the next Raptors game, or Saturday morning if you're watching the post-game show. So, the Raptors have had the worst defense in the NBA this season. That's part of the reason they're now 2-10. But their offense has looked good. And the reason their offense has looked good is that they're appealing very well to the various strengths of the guys that are playing, giving RJ those kind of looping cuts where he rounds a player to the left, comes around to the left side of the rim to get to the rim. We're doing a great job of scheming plays for Grady Dick, giving himself some opportunities to get open, really using his three-point prowess to find openings, whether that's catch and shoot, whether that's Grady Dick attacking closeouts, and getting Pearl looks down low, using the pick and roll. RJ Barrett out of the pick and roll has been great this season. We didn't do any of that today, really. It was back to like last season where we had these games where it just felt like Darko didn't even do anything. It just was individual play. It was individual play for probably 40 minutes of the 48 here. There was a good spell at the start of the third quarter where some team basketball started to creep in, but halftime of this game, the Raptors had only taken 6 3-pointers. The first half was so ugly because RJ Barrett was just basically trying to straight line drive to the rim every time he got the ball, where he was met by either Brook Lopez or Giannis Antetokounmpo, or sometimes both, and trying to fit the ball past them, which just was not happening. We weren't running plays, so the more role players who have to step up into bigger roles as a result of the injuries for the Raptors this season, those guys were having to create their own shot, which was not working. And in the end, Grady Dick had to put on a cape for this one, because in the first half, he had 22 points of the 43 the Raptors scored. The Raptors had 43 points at halftime. Grady Dick had 22 on his own because he was just willing things to happen. Whether that was getting to the rim, whether that was taking some of the very few threes the Raptors attempted in the first half, or whether that was drawing fouls. Like, this is one of the more impressive Grady Dick games we've seen. This might be the most impressive game. Now, you may think, what the hell, Jacob? He shot 7 of 20 from the field. He did have a career high in points, again, 32 points, but 7 of 20 from the field. He was doing shit on his own. Like, he had no choice but to just do things on his own. And in a lot of pockets where the Raptors struggled in this game, it felt like they completely took him out of the game on offense. Like, you got to get this guy involved. And this was a point of emphasis in the post-game press conference after the loss to the Lakers, where Darko Rajakovic was asked by Raptors members of Raptors media, who said, like what was it about Grady Dick not getting involved, essentially? And he said, we got to get Grady Dick involved more. We got to be better at that. Well, it wasn't very much better at that. I know he took 20 shots, but He had to get those on his own today. And it's a testament to his ability and how much he's improved that he can get a 32-point career high in a game the Raptors only score 85, and he can draw 16 free throws against guys like Brook Lopez and Giannis. This Bucks team, the reason that they've been so bad, they entered today with the second worst record in the entire National Basketball Association, ahead of only ours truly, the Raptors. But one of the reasons they've been so bad is their defense. And this was a Bucks team today that didn't even have Damian Lillard, but their defense, we made them look fantastic today because we played into their hands. Everything the Raptors did offensively was just in front. It was all manageable. It was all comfortable for the Bucks. It was all in front of them. All in vision. Just keep the guy in front of you. Let him go to the rim where Giannis and Lopez are waiting. And it was an extremely fruitful endeavor for this team, who forced 21 turnovers by the Raptors. Every Raptors starter had at least 3 turnovers. RJ Barrett had 5 to himself. It was just an ugly game overall from RJ Barrett. Couple bad ones in a row, unfortunately, for Barrett. Not sure if it's fatigue, not sure if it's teams catching up, not sure if he's being used incorrectly here, but today it felt like that was the case. And a lot of ill-advised shots from himself. He was 3 of 14, did not take a single free throw. He just played into their hands way too much today. So it's a 7 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. A bit problematic. Otherwise, from the starters, not really getting Abaji involved. He's a catch-and-shoot guy. You got to create for him. We didn't run schemes to create, so he couldn't do much. Pirtle was fine, 13 points, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Mitchell, it's really tough to play with a point guard who just doesn't give you any points himself. He did have 8 assists, but, man, it's not like we were playing against a team that had insane point of attack defense. Like he's a starting 5. Ryan Rollins, AJ Green, Taurean Prince, then Giannis and Lopez. This isn't exactly a team that should be limiting you to 85 points. I mean, they don't even score 99. It was a real stinker of a basketball game here. Boucher gave us some good minutes off the bench. I actually thought Fernando gave us some really good minutes off the bench as well, but in the end, just a ugly game where, we shoot 35% from the field. They take 30 more three-pointers than us, which, I don't think we need to take 56, but 6 at half was a problem. They addressed it at least. They took more, but 35% from the field because everything was just trying to straight line drive to the rim where, you got 2 towers there in Lopez and Giannis. 21 turnovers does not help. It says 22 here now, because actually it's team turnovers. So 22 turnovers by the Raptors. We did force 17, but they scored 12 more points off of our turnovers compared to us on theirs. And this is what you get. I mean, how many blocks did they get? We had 6. They had 9. It felt like worse, honestly. It did feel worse. Giannis had 4 blocks. Lopez had 3. That's a bit of a testament there. In the end, Barrett, minus 23. Yeah, ugly minutes with him today. But such is this season. We are going to get some games like this. It's unfortunate that it's in the NBA Cup where, we've had a lot of close games. Not when you wanted to have a non-close game because point differential could come into play for the group stage of this tournament, but a chance to make it up on Friday against the Pistons. The Pistons have looked pretty good this year, but I look at the upcoming schedule here. Raptors are 2-10, worst record in the NBA. I don't really know where the win is going to come from. The Pistons are winning games this season. They're 5-7. They just beat the Miami Heat. They're decent. I don't know where the Raptors are going to win games, which, look, we've had some good development strides taken. We've had some good tanking measures taken, but yeah, it's there's going to be a lot of losses, and injuries aren't helping. Absolutely not. I can absolutely forgive a game like this where you struggle on offense and you lose 99-85. What I can't forgive is just deviating completely away from the game planning that's been going pretty well and struggling to get Grady Dick involved in his best capacity and having him to kind of do it himself. That needs to change. Hopefully, 2 full days off for the Raptors now. Hopefully, they can get some rest in and come out a lot stronger when they're finally back at home against the Detroit Pistons. But we're 12 games in. It hasn't exactly flown by, but it's not exactly felt like a long time either. But there's going to be more tough games like this. I'd say brace yourself, because we've had a lot of good performances we still lose, and I'm sure there's going to be more to come. There's going to be a lot of bad performances where we lose bad like this, and the Bucks did not punish us nearly enough today. 2 worst teams in the NBA played against each other tonight record-wise, and one got beat by 14. That's where the current state of the Raptors is, and it kind of is what it is. We move.